One of the most important priorities for 2024 is going to be the boxers' integration to attend the so many concerns that they have expressed as being active fighters and retired fighters, looking back on what they could have done, they should have done, and what the young prospects should look out for. I would like to welcome Billy Dib to please make a presentation of what we have been discussing. Is Billy Dib here? Oh, okay. Billy Dib received on the opening ceremony the Champion of Hope, the Champion of Life award. He's a great asset. You give us inspiration. Whatever you want to talk, you can come up here if you like.
No problem. No worries, Mauricio.
You can still jump?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Billy. Good morning, everybody. Mauricio asked me to speak about a few things today, and I just want to speak about, firstly, who I am. I'm Billy Dib, former two-time boxing world champion and great friend of Mauricio Sulaimán in the WBC. I just want to talk a little bit about the sacrifices of a fighter and what a fighter goes through and some of the things that they need to deal with in that regard. So obviously, I walked into the boxing gym at the age of 12. I was very dedicated to my craft, and I knew that boxing was exactly what I wanted to do. Some of the things that fighters deal with throughout their career, obviously, they run into problems with managers, trainers, Then there's obviously, when they sometimes take fights and they decide to fight in weight categories that are very dangerous for them to compete in. So, for example, I could talk about my own self. There was a point where I was competing as a featherweight world champion, and then it started to get really difficult to make weight. Actually got very, very dangerous, and thankfully for me, I was able to get some funds together to be able to pay a nutritionist to make sure that I could make the featherweight category correctly. Where a lot of fighters, they don't do that. A lot of fighters, they don't have the funds for something like this, and so what they do is they deplete themselves in a way, and they actually hurt themselves, which can then lead to obviously bad, results in regards to the fights. They can be injured in the ring. They can suffer brain injuries, and this is something that we've seen in the past in boxing, where fighters have actually, suffered a lot of injuries. So the other thing that I want to talk about is the temptations of a fighter. And sometimes, fighters who have had nothing, and then all of a sudden build themselves to a point where they start earning really good purses, and they don't have the right people around them to tell them that you need to put money away, because for me, my father always told me you got to put money away for a rainy day, because in life there's a rainy day where you run into a brick wall where you don't have the funds to pay for certain things, and a lot of fighters do fall into that temptation where they're earning the purses, where they start buying these very expensive cars, they're spending money on jewelry and all these things, but they're not actually putting any money away for the future. So I'll talk a little bit something about, in Australia we have this thing called super. So it's basically where you work, and they actually take a portion of the money that you earn at work and they put it into a super fund, which is a guaranteed investment, which means later in your life, and basically in Australia you turn 60 years of age and then you get this lump sum of money that you never expected. Obviously it was in the background and it was building into a super fund, so it's a guaranteed investment. And speaking to Mauricio, this is something that I think would be really good for obviously the professional boxing circuit. If fighters were investing. I mean, I speak on my own self. That would have been amazing if I was earning purses of, say, whether you're earning purses of $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, $1 million, whatever it is that you're earning. But if you're putting away a percentage of the purses, that would obviously help when you get to that later stage in your life and somebody comes along and says to you, here's a lump sum of money. Mauricio and alongside the WBC family have decided to come up with a championship committee in this regard, where we want to see if we can get fighters to the point, correct me if I'm wrong, Mauricio, is to invest some of their money and basically set the future up for themselves, because a lot of fighters go through their whole career and they earn amazing purses and things like that, and then they get to the point where they actually got no money. We've seen this so many times, so many fighters, so many great champions who, I've seen great champions myself who have earned such fantastic purses, and at the end of the career they've got nothing to show for it. And this is a very, very sad thing, but it would be amazing if throughout their career they had percentages of their purse taken off them that was put into a super fund that would later be given to them so that they could live the rest of their life without any problems. Is that right, Mr.? So this is something that we want to develop, and I hope we can get it going, and I definitely want to be a part of this with the WBC, and I look forward to working with the WBC family and Mauricio Sulaimán very closely in the future. Thank you very much.
Billy, you're a very clean person. You're an example. From your experience, from what you have seen in your path through boxing, of course you have seen fighters that fall into temptations, that fall into false pretensions from friends, from opportunists, from people, from addictions, from alcohol. What would you tell a young boxer who is just starting, but the fact that they most probably, if fame comes, money will come, and then all these temptations, how would you handle that?
So Mauricio mentioned that when I was a young boy, I'm a devout Muslim. So I've never drank alcohol, I've never taken a drug, and I've never smoked cigarettes. I've never fallen into that temptation. But just because I'm Muslim, it doesn't mean that I'm any different to anybody else. Whether you're Muslim, you're Christian, whatever it is that you are in your life, obviously you have to do your best to abstain from the temptations of what a life of fame can give you. And so for me, as a professional athlete, and the advice that I would give to anybody who is going to precede me in the future and going to go on to become great fighters, is that really try to steer yourself away from those who are going to hang on just to join the journey of your career, because really it's, your career starts and it finishes so fast. Like for me, I never thought that my career was going to come to an end. I remember turning professional at the age of 18. Before I knew it, I was 36 and my career was coming to an end. And so, I tried to make the right moves, invest my money correctly, because had I not done that, I would be in a really difficult position in my life today. And so this is the things that fighters need to look out for. They need to be very smart in regards to the way that they handle their money, the way that they handle their business affairs, and they need to make sure that they've got good management and good people around them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mauricio.
Are there any questions, any comments that anyone would like to address to Billy or to the WBC? Jeff?
Mic check. It's amazing, like you said, brother. For many years, I've been saying that we need like a boxing union. I started in a business as a manager. Now I'm a coach. I've been living overseas for about 5 years in Poland, Brooklyn, and I've been working with the youth. I've done about 20 amateur tournaments, helped over about 200 kids, and I see a lot of pro fighters, like you said, especially in Poland, where they have nothing for themselves. A lot of them champions, even ones that they were champs, and you go to their houses, you're like, Lord have mercy. You wouldn't think a champ would be living like that. I think we should start off the WBC Boxing Union, something like that, where there could be something on the side where they could have, their percentage from their money or something. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we can do, and it's an amazing thing that you set something up like this where we could help out not only the boxing, the boxers, but the trainers too. A lot of the trainers are hurting out there. You can see that they don't have nothing.
Most definitely, this is what we want to do with the WBC and committees. Obviously, have fighters, have trainers, have whoever wants to be involved, invest their money and to basically get a return on their money. So a safe return, because obviously, as you know, sometimes you invest in certain things and it goes pear-shaped, where this is something that we're going to, I think from what I understand from Mauricio, would be guaranteed. This is a guarantee, so this is something that we're working on.
We have worked for many years trying to find a solid financial institution that would create a product for boxing. Anyone who knows about finances must understand that there are costs always. When you ask for a loan, you have to pay a percentage. When you create something, so it's a different world that it's not easy to understand. The WBC has invested and created finally a product at no cost to the fighter and a guaranteed return without risk. So it will be individual accounts because it's a product that will be made hopefully from many different fighters. Individual accounts, so there's no risk whatsoever. Everything is transparent, based in the United States. And I would like to make a proposal today to the Board of Governors in which the WBC matches the percentage from the purse that the fighter is destining to put into their fund. So for example, if the fighter decides 10% from his purse is going to go to the fund, the WBC will take 10% from his sanction fees and we give it to him back to the fund. Is this something anyone from the board would accept to?
That would be amazing. Wow. We show of hands.
There is a motion to accept the proposal that our president just put forth. Is there a second? Rex Walker seconds the motion from Dr. Gattani. All of those in favor, please raise your hands. The motion passes unanimously.
There you go.
Okay, so starting January 2024, we're going to begin a process of education specifically for championship fights. Fighter who joins opens their account to save money from their purses, the percentage that they take from their purse will be the same percentage the WBC will take from the sanction fees collected given to the fighter account. We're going to do a study to make everything very clear, but in principle that's going to happen.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Mauricio. Any other questions, guys?
I do. I don't have a Billy. Billy.
Yep.
I'm from behind you.
There you go.
I just was going to make a suggestion. First of all, Mauricio, that is amazing. Billy, when you look at the other basically freelance organizations, you might want to look at the way Screen Actors Guild and the Directors Guild set up their funds, insurance, peer groups, whatever, because those are also organizations that are global, that work with people who are in freelance professions that have wavering incomes. And they've worked it out in a very good way in terms of insurance and this and that, based on wavering and incomes like that. So their structure might be something that you might want to take a look at as a suggestion for the way you're setting things up too.
That would be fantastic. That's awesome.
We have spoken many times. We have several fighters that have been active in this purpose. You know, we have seen fighters calling out for union or calling out for boxing is a different sport. There's no schedule, there's no league, there's no, if a fighter does not fight, he simply
not earning an income.
No income.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start asking you to help me. Jeff Fenech, Sean Porter, Lennox Lewis, David Picasso, who is a young prospect, the silver champion. He's an incredible kid that goes all over doing many things, trying to get things organized for the fighters. Tony Bellu, Antonio Tarver. We have many fighters interested in participating. So if you accept Billy, I would like to appoint you as the WBC Champions Committee administrator. Or
I'd be honored.
Okay.
I'd be honored. Thank you very much, Mauricio.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Billy.
much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mauricio. Thank you so much, guys.